guys, today I'm back with another video. It took me a long time to really sit down and talk about this topic or these topics that I want to talk about today. It's not that it really bothers me, but I just wasn't sure when to film. And I know I had quarantine and everything, but I didn't really have the time because I was busy with my family and my appointments at school. So here I am. It's a Sunday night and I just started this thing at like 10 p.m. But yesterday I hit my 2 years of surviving this illness. Yeah, and today I really want to talk about how I deal with it in school, and especially now that I have a little summer job, how I can cope with it there and how I live with it when I have to work, because people seemed interested in it, and I will also slowly and only a bit. I don't want to make this video about it, but it's about my depression and anxiety that started with having this disease and still go on today. But I want to say that my depression and anxiety is not only based on this illness. At the time, it was about a year later, about a year later, I had other things and they made my depression worse because there were things that weren't right, and I lost a lot of friends, but we are getting along now quite well, so that's good. And yeah, I'm just really gonna start by starting with school. So basically I have to do everything that other classmates do as well. I don't get extra points. I just get like the lessons of when I have to go to the hospital or doing my checkups. And yeah, I mean, I also get some time off for my surgeries, and yeah, literally there is nothing that I have more or that I have to do less than other people, because literally I have to do everything. And I think sometimes it's really unfair, because I am disabled if at the end of the day I am not different than a person in a wheelchair. And I know this is completely different. I mean, a person in a wheelchair is different than a person who's half blind. But at the end of the day, every disease or everything that keeps us from doing something a person should be able to do is a disability. Some people hate to say disability because, especially in German, it's just like a word you usually say to insult someone. And I think the word disability, especially in English, it sounds powerful to me. Like, disability, it's a word that I really like, because in German I would never describe myself as a disabled person. But often when I talk to people in English, I often say, I'm disabled because I don't see a lot. I often get yelled at by bikers or cars because I don't see them. So that is like one big thing that makes me really see how disabled I am. I am also not really, I can't be alone because not only the money, I have a great insurance that covers all of that, because I have medication. There is one of the medications that costs like almost 600 euros, because it is from America and it is really, really expensive, and we wouldn't be able to buy that if we didn't have an amazing insurance. And yeah, my insurance is not available anymore because it is so great, because it covers anything. But back to going to school. So I am like a normal student, just that I don't see everything. And my classmates, some of my teachers, really know what I've been through, and we sometimes talk about it. And I think it's just amazing that some teachers really want to be educated on things like diseases of the students, because some teachers don't care at all. And some teachers, I think, don't even want to recognize they have a student who is disabled, because, for example, one of my teachers, who has been nice to me since I've known her, and I think it was the last lesson that we had with her, and she was like, don't you get like a bonus or something when you graduate, when you have your finals? That was like, to be honest, I never thought about it. I know that I am disadvantaged because it takes me a bit more time to process some things, which is quite funny because in a lot of subjects I am one of the best students, and in some, well, let's say I am an average student. Like, my average score is like 1.8 or something like that. So like the average grade I get is like 2. So the second best. And yeah, this is basically school. Like, there is nothing that I have an advantage for being disabled. Not even in cooking classes or service classes. There is nothing that I get for it, that I am disabled. And for work, the problem was I didn't really tell them at the beginning. So when I knew, they got me tasks and little jobs that I had to do that were okay according to how good or bad I see. For example, like when I clean, I usually get someone from the staff to look over it and to see if I actually cleaned all of it or not, because sometimes there are rests of things that I used to like clean it with, and so they always look, okay, is everything clean? Because sometimes I can overlook something because I don't see everything. But I'm not really, I don't feel disabled really. I feel like a normal student who has a summer job and who works a lot. But I think for myself it was, especially with anxiety, I always overthink things. From the moment on that I knew they know now, I had a constant battle with my mind. Like, do I get paid the same now? Because now they know I am disabled and sometimes I can't work as much as others. But I have the exact same hours. I have the exact same length of hours I have to work, and in no way I am advanced in anything. Like, there is not really a bonus for me anywhere. I mean, the only bonus I have had, especially during Corona, I still was able to go to the hospital for my checkups because I am an emergency. Because if there would have been something with my eye and I wouldn't have been able to go to the hospital, I could really be completely blind by now. So I still had those checkups because it was an emergency, and all the doctors didn't really like it that I was here, because they said, being an emergency isn't really the best thing you want to be as a teenager. But not only because of work and school, I see that I will never be able to be completely on my own, but I still depend on people sometimes, and like I can't have really a sleepover because I can't take all of my eye drops with me all the time, because I have like a little bag where I have some of my medication, but I have one at night that always needs to be cool. So I can't take that with me because it has to be cool all the time. So that's something that I struggle with, because as a teenager you just want to go out, and this is also something like I always see, like those teenage girls or boys who just have their phone and their wallet with them, and I always have to get like a bag, have to have a bag with me, because I have my eye drops, then I have my phone, then I have my wallet, and I can't really put my bag with the medication in like my backpack or like my pockets, because there are just too much. So this is something that really annoys me, and I can't go to the beach or really places like this, because there's still a chance that I could still get blind from like those things that are on the beach. The water, for example, could really harm my eyes, and so I am not allowed to go to the beach. And I have been to the beach for like 3 years now. So for 3 years ago was the last time I went, and I really loved it. And I'm also not allowed to go swimming. I can like get my feet in the water, but I can't really swim, so that sucks. But since we now talked about how I deal with it at work and school and a bit outside, I now want to talk about my depression and anxiety. So I don't want to say I had depression before, but I had a certain phase where I was really, really sad because I lost one of my closest family members, and she was like a second mom to me, or like a best friend. And so that was like really horrible for me. And this was like a phase where I think the depression phase started kicking off, because I have never been able to completely get over her death, and I probably never will. I get still very emotional whenever I talk about her. And so when I was in the hospital for so long, none of my classmates really cared about the fact that I was lying in a hospital, almost being blind. Only a few cared, and I sometimes didn't really think that even them actually cared about me at all. So during the time in the hospital, I got very depressed because rarely people came to visit me outside of my family, and it got so sad because I wasn't able to go out. It was the hottest summer we've had in 5 years, and I just really wanted to just go out and have fun with friends. I wasn't able to go to the beach to get summer holidays. I wasn't able to go away to go like on vacation or anything. I was stuck in a hospital bed. I was stuck in a building because they didn't really let me out. And I mean, once my mom and I got out of the area of the hospital where we weren't supposed to be, but we didn't know it at that time, so we just went like to the mall real quick and ate something. And that's also something like I started to not eat. I wasn't hungry at all. Most times I only ate breakfast because I had like a bread roll and like a hot chocolate, and that was like the best thing ever. Mostly I had my bread roll with the honey and butter, and that was it for the day. I didn't really touch my food for about a month, and I lost a lot of weight. In time, almost I think 10 kilograms, which is not a lot if you like do it the right way, but I just didn't eat at all. My family almost had to force me to eat something because I just wasn't hungry at all, and they knew it wasn't me because it was just the medication, the hospital, all the naps I took. It was just all a bit too much. And I think that was when depression started for me. I felt really good during the day, but in the night when I was there, I made sure that the nurses weren't there when I cried. So when the nurse came in, I saw the light of them. So I quickly dried my tears and like tried to get myself together so they see that I'm okay. And this went on until I got home. And then my depression got real. I didn't really notice it, but I noticed that I was sadder and sadder and sadder. And that was partly because I didn't feel like myself. I mean, all the hospital appointments, all those medications, then school was too much for me. And I never really talked to someone about it, like, and I didn't feel like I needed to talk to someone. And then at the end of the semester, I decided to switch classes, and it was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. And I became a lot happier. I was able to control my depression a bit more. Like, I mean, you can't really control your depression, but I was really able to have a genuine smile when I went to school. And sometimes I still have that. Sometimes you just don't want to go to school or go to work. But it's okay, because at the end of the day, the thing that counts is that the life that you're building for yourself is the right path. And I think for now I have the right path. And I really felt that when I got into the new class, and I get along with almost everyone, and it is one of the nicest feelings to have such a big group of people who support me all the way. Whatever I tell them, they support me. They've supported me with my illness and my disease. They've supported me with my coming out. They've supported me when I told them that I didn't feel happy with a certain person in the class, and because of things the person said. And they were always behind me and always supported me, and they still do. And it's just really nice to have a bunch of people caring about me. And yeah, so anxiety took over when my depression got worse. I always have had a little bit of anxiety. I didn't want to talk to strangers. I always have been shy. I have always been avoiding men because of the past and because of certain situations that happened in a certain place. And it just, when I was half blind, my depression got worse because for myself, I felt worthless. I felt like nothing for everyone. And that was also like where the anxiety and the depression got together. Like, I was so scared people would like leave me because I wasn't, or I'm not the person that I want to be. Because if I look at it like the way if I had a best friend who was disabled and I wasn't, and I'm not, I would feel weird about it. But my friends, they don't care about it. And this is what I had to realize with having depression and anxiety, that I can rely on people, but I am still my own person, and and the person I have to trust the most is myself. And before I can trust anyone else, I have to trust myself. Before I love anyone else, I have to love myself. Before I can accept anyone else, I have to accept myself for being me, for being disabled, and all the other things I love. And this was something that has taken me a long time, and I am still not completely there yet. Like, I've had 2 relationships, and I thought I was ready to do this. And in both relationships there were like different points where I thought, no, I'm not ready for this. And it's not long ago that I wanted to start a new relationship. Like, I have talked to someone, and then I realized, like, I'm not ready for this, because I don't love myself the way I should and the way I need to. So after really like cleaning out my life a bit, I was going through my phone and saw, like, you know what, I think I really need someone inspiring for me. I need someone that supports all the things I stand for. And I found a person, and then I realized, you know, boy bands seemed so important to me during my depression and everything. But it didn't seem right now. And I was like, it's okay to let go. It's not that I won't remember it anymore. I mean, I am so grateful for what those boys did for me and for everything they helped me through. But for me, it was time to move on to a section that I feel comfortable with and that I don't feel weird about. Because for me, as a lesbian, loving boys, loving a boy band was just weird at the end now. And then I found a bunch of lesbians who are my idols now, and thanks to them I started really self-loving myself again. And it sounds really weird, but they gave me the confidence to work on me, to work on my body, to work on my mind. And I think I've improved, because I really seem a lot happier. And I really am thankful for everything they do for me. And this is like, my anxiety and depression will never stop, because one day I will relapse again, and it will happen again. And to be honest, there is one advice that I really want to give you. If you have like an idol or a person you just really like because of how they look at life, because of who they stand up to, stand up for, no matter what it is, you need to have a person that you aspire to be. And no matter how old they are. And if you aspire as a 10-year-old to be like a 60-year-old celebrity, then this is fine because they are an idol that you aspire to be. You don't want to date them. You just want to achieve some of their goals. Because you can relate to those goals, because you want to say, because you have the same goals as them, because you want the same future path. And this is something I can really give you because it has helped me, and you really need to find a person that really stands for it all. And it takes time to find a person. It took me a long time, and maybe the person I aspire to be now, maybe this person isn't even the person I aspire to be, but she's an example, and this is the thing I can work on with now. And I feel really happy, and I feel confident, and I just feel overly excited for my future. And with depression on my left and with anxiety on my right, I will hopefully make some changes for other people. And I really thank you if you've watched the video till now. Probably no one will, but it is okay because, you know, at the end of the day, it's like a little therapy session for me. And one day, hopefully I can show my kids these videos and say, you know, when I was your age, this is what I was, and I am not ashamed to leave this, you know. I am not ashamed to hide any of those things that I have now, because if I would be ashamed of myself for, you know, for different things, for different flaws, then maybe I can't have an actual good life when I don't accept myself. And there's also one thing that I want to say, because lately I've seen a YouTuber, and I don't know his name anymore, but he made a video about being blind and having surgery. And I was like, oh, this is like really terrible. I want to know why. And then I went to the comment section, and he had a comment there that said, April Fools, guys. And I was never so disappointed in a person, because faking being blind by just putting contacts in is a little low. It's very low for me, because I mean, I suffer from it every day. I see all the negative things, you know. I see an everyday life of it, and I can't just go like, oh, now I'm going to see everything again. No, this is not how it works. Because I wish that I would be able to see everything, because then life would be so much easier for me. But it's not, and that's okay. I don't try to blame myself. Like, this is something that I'm working on. I want to not blame myself for this happening to me, because I had no influence in this. And this is the last thing I want to give to you. Stop blaming yourself for actions that you are not responsible for. If you have like a certain feeling, a guilty feeling, when it wasn't even your fault, stop blaming yourself. And you can't go on from one day to the other that you will blame yourself. But it takes time. You need to work on that. And I think it's really important to work on things, because we always expect things to just happen, to just appear out of nowhere, and I think we just need to be a little more better with us, you know. We have to treat ourselves like we treat other people, and this is what I want to say. And thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you all have a lovely summer. And yeah, I hope we see each other in the new video.